So, Professor Avram Ehrlich, tell us more about urban development and what level of development did we achieve in Tel Aviv, and you have a vision for a better future.
Great. It's a great question. Thank you. Well, Jaffa is a 5,000 or 6,000 year old urban development. It's really one of the oldest cities in the known world. It's got also a great story attached to it, in the story of Jonah, a great port city he set sail from. And it was occupied by dozens of nations. It has a wonderful history, and and it is so high because it's got layers and layers of buildings under it and tunnels, and it extends, and it's what a wonderful place. So, and right adjoined to that is the gateway, so to speak, to Tel Aviv, and really the first settlement outside of Jaffa is Neve Tzedek. So Neve Tzedek is after 80 years has become frozen in time, and it's got low rises and small cobbled road streets and a beautiful stories of families and who came to settle there, and the small industries that they developed, and the idea of labor, and Jewish and Hebrew labor, and the hope to restore Zion. So, so many decades later, the whole of Tel Aviv has developed, and Neve Tzedek, which was really the porthole to it, has remained antiquated, and now comes its turn. And the question is what to do with the old synagogues there. And the primary example is the place that both that you, Bezalel, and me, and I pray on occasion, and that was Rabbi Kook's synagogue, where he first developed this sort of revolutionary, not so revolutionary idea of Torah v'avodah, Torah and work and workmanship, with the idea of laboring, and the extension of that is creation, creative labor, and so. Eventually, Rav Kook moved to and became the chief rabbi of Palestine and went to Jerusalem. But the vision of early visionaries to Israel, Rav Kook was a leader of them, but there were many others, and they also settled and had homes and synagogues and centers, and those centers could really be developed in the 21st century. The early visions for this city, the visions that preceded political Zionism, the visions of group and fraternity and community and cooperation and shared toolery and many different interpretations and visions that didn't develop in the aftermath of the great success of Zionism. So, what a wonderful time in this period of development of the city to high rises, to be able to celebrate the legacies of the founders of this visionary city. And because, after all, the city did accelerate in their shadow, so that they, for 2,000 years, the city has been relatively dormant and did not develop in any meaningful way until a certain group, very diverse layers and waves of migrants came and gave their signature to what is now looking like an incredible place. So the future should, I think, begin with the visions of the founders and those places, those synagogues, those centers that they once occupied. Maybe they can be given priority by the city to develop their legacy, maybe to build high rises themselves, so there be schools, places of education for the legacy and for the vision and for the translation of their vision into the 21st century. They came here first, they had
You think that
properties.
Rabbi Cook dreamed of this kind of
Visionaries have to agree with that. That's what they
He did
understand
actually
if you-
make already a school and a center, a communal center for
maybe we'll continue that.